Hello YouTube, Vlogging Eric's Rants here, and this week my late video is about Kyle Kulinski's appearance on the Republican propaganda network Fox News. It was a glorious appearance as Kyle took down Fox News on NAFTA and immigration. There are a few clips I want to show that really demonstrate just how pathetic corporate media in the US has become, especially Fox News. Honestly, it isn't much better in Oz, but whatever. With all of that out of the way, let's begin. Actually, before I go into the clips themselves, I want to show these from Kyle's Twitter, because this happened on April Fool's Day, and Kyle had to run several tweets to show that he was going on Fox News and it wasn't a joke. Let's check them out. Now then, let's get on to the actual clips.
Well, for a discussion, let's bring in our fair and balanced radio panel. Joining us now from Philadelphia, Rich Zeoli and self-described liberal host Kyle Kulinski. Gentlemen, nice to see both of you. The president was tweeting that yesterday. This morning, on Easter morning, before church, also went on Twitter. He said this: Mexico is doing very little, if not nothing. It's stopping people from flowing into Mexico along their southern border and then into the U.S. They laugh at our dumb immigration laws. They must stop the big drug and people flows, or I will stop their cash flow. NAFTA, need wall, exclamation point.
So, anybody wondering where the hell Kyle started ranting about NAFTA came from, right at the end of this tweet by Donald Trump was where he got the NAFTA from. Quote, "They must stop the big drug and people flows, or I will stop their cash cow, NAFTA." End quote. That is where NAFTA came into this. I also want to show some clips here where it shows that Kyle really held his own, even against two conservative dimwits. And as you watch these clips, notice how many times the host interrupts Kyle versus how many times he interrupts Rich. And by the way, I just have to say this. While you watch these clips, just look at Rich's smarmy smirk. Ugh, it creeps me out. Like, what is wrong with this guy?
Brown, who says, you know what, we're going to pardon you so that you don't have to be deported.
Kyle,
if you want to say...
Hold on, Kyle. I'm not talking about
a criminal issue when,
Rich just told you why he did, which...
So
Democrats
when you use...
don't want a deal to help the dreamers. They don't want a DACA deal. Trump tweet, every Trump position is to go left. They go further left. It's what
and 91% of them work or go to school. So this isn't a middle class, this isn't an issue that...
Kyle, I want to ask you...
Now, after all of that, I do want to give Kyle massive credit for one big thing. Even when the host, in the later stages of the discussion, kept trying to interrupt him, he kept talking. That's the sort of stuff you have to do as someone on the left if you want to get anything across on Fox News. And as you watch those clips, notice that Rich had, for big chunks of that discussion, the smarmy smirk on his face. This creepy smarmy smirk that just creeps me the fuck out. Ugh. And I love it when Kyle says stuff and it wipes the smirk off that smarmy guy's face. I love it. Honestly, Kyle did a very good job with that. And now he will never be invited on Fox News ever again. Fox News did not do their homework on Kyle. They didn't do a background check on him. They just assumed, since they're the propaganda arm of the Republican Party, that he would be an uninformed leftist that this rich guy could just run all over the top of. Ha! Fail! But this really does go to show just how partisan and hacky corporate media, but especially Fox News, really is. Especially when Kyle said this. This basically broke the brains of both conservatives that he was arguing against. It was glorious.
So this isn't a middle class, this isn't an issue that...
Kyle, I want to ask you, you just said you wish who would go further left?
I wish the Democrats would go further left. I wish the president would go further left. Again, like I was just talking about, President Trump referenced NAFTA in that tweet, and I wish he would pull out of NAFTA. I wish he would go to the left. On the campaign trail, he went to the left on war issues. He said he would get us out of Iraq. He said he would get us out of Afghanistan. He didn't do those things. I wish he would do those things.
Yeah, well, and also now he's saying that major change possibly in U.S. policy is going to pull troops out of Syria a lot earlier than we thought. Rich, Kyle, appreciate it, guys. We got to run.
Thanks.
Happy Easter. Thanks, guys. All right, Liz.
Notice at about 4:58, quote, "Fellas, we got to go," end quote. How despicable is that? Really, it is absolutely despicable. Right as Kyle's making total sense and ranting about how he wants the Democrats and Trump to go further left. But, like the Progressive Voice said, the corporate media sucks. It has sensationalism bias, it has a false neutrality bias, and it has an establishment bias. It covers stories that it thinks is going to please Washington and is going to toe the establishment line. They've got boring actors, they have neutrality or partisan biases towards the corporate wing of whatever party they're propagandizing for. CNN has the neutrality bias, Fox News has a Republican bias, and MSNBC has a corporate Democrat bias. Now, that being said, I do switch away from the Progressive Voice a little later on because he did claim that Rich wasn't interrupted by the host at all. However, as I've shown earlier, he was interrupted a couple of times by the host, though nowhere near as often as Kyle was. I will concede that. So Kyle wrecked these idiots, and it just shows just how boring and stupid the, and I'm borrowing a Sarah Palin quote here, the lamestream media really is. So, that is my video for this week. I hope you found it interesting. Please rate, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a great day, everyone.